Hey everybody, Todd Mitchell here with another Game Dev Breakdown podcast, and tonight is going to be a little bit unusual because, for one thing, I'm going out of town tomorrow. So my wife and I are going on vacation together for the first time in a couple of years, so I don't really have any apology to offer for that because, I miss her and I would like to spend some time with her, and that's going to be how it is. But so this is going to be a short episode because what I'm going to play here for you is actually something that was largely unreleased unless you're a YouTuber, and our old buddy Ray Merrick of the Horror Syndicate, Unparalleled Comics, and Other Great Ventures, he and I used to do a podcast, my first podcast, actually, called Nightfall Unlimited. And Nightfall Unlimited is basically a geek culture site. You can call it a blog if you want. And we used to cover games, movies, comic books, just anything you could think of on that site. We had a lot of fun. I've told stories about this before. I've certainly written about it on the site as well. But this was our first opportunity to podcast, and this is sort of where I learned anything I do know in the current day. So basically, we did this podcast for some time, months, if not over a year, 2 years, something like that. It was a long time. And it's kind of impressive what we actually ended up putting together. By the time it was done, we had a largely in-person recorded panel podcast with like a rotating cast of regulars, and it was kind of cool, but I think almost everyone who was involved in it would tell you it was a mess. And sometimes it was a mess, and sometimes that was my fault, sometimes it was just the way we all got along. We were all basically friends, but friendship is a weird thing sometimes. And this is not about me and Ray. Me and Ray are basically BFFs. But I think anyone there would tell you it was sort of a comical mess. And we learned a ton. We did a ton. I don't think there's anywhere you can still listen to that podcast. And eventually it fell by the wayside. So how does that pertain to this show? So basically, Ray has decided that he's going to put together a little bit of a new cast. And he certainly came to me hoping I'd be involved, but he's going to sort of helm a new iteration of the Nightfall Unlimited podcast. And so they tried what we would probably call a test show, which was over a month ago now. And so he and our friend Jay Sloan, who is a comic book guy in the area as well, they did the first test show, and it was over an hour. They streamed it live on YouTube. It was pretty cool. They had some audience participation stuff, but they had me come on and do basically a gaming segment, and they left that kind of open-ended. So we wanted to talk about games during the show, and I was going to be their guy. So I sort of joined in on their Google Hangouts call. We went over some new releases. We talked about some game stuff. I plugged the podcast at length, which you'll hear. And, we spent like 15, 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do tonight is play that for you. That just my part of the show, which was my little gaming segment. And it's just sort of a fun thing, just a little test segment. You don't get to hear stuff like this too often. I think they are going to go ahead and launch the show in the near future, but I think they're working the kinks out because, for one thing, if you are into this kind of stuff, you know that Google Hangouts just sort of went away, drastically changed what they do. Some of the people involved in the show are going through some stuff that they're working out right now, and basically it's just sort of TBD. I thought it'd be fun to play my appearance for tonight's show. Sorry that I couldn't really spend more time on a full show for today. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure what we'll do next Thursday, but I wanted something you could listen to, sort of hang your hat on, and that'll get you through the later portion of this week. We will have an interview go out Monday, which is with Richard Rouse III, who is a sort of famous American game designer. I say American game designer because that's how they describe him on Wikipedia. So, but he's the kind of guy who has a Wikipedia page, and he is a renowned design author. So it was a really great interview, and I think you'll enjoy that. So before I turn this over to play this YouTube appearance that I did, I wanted to talk. I didn't really plan on this, but I do want to talk about this. You've probably heard me before talk about what a nice thing it is when you have like a local group in your area that talks about game design, game development, creative pursuits, user groups, anything like that. I really strongly encourage people to do that. I'm involved in several, so I'm not going to name names or anything, but I noticed sort of a alarming trend. I witnessed something I really didn't like the other day. Basically, someone came from outside of this group, and his story was, hey, everybody, I'm just a guy from a sort of quiet town in the area, and I'm interested in bringing like a game convention or a game show, like a gaming event to either a convention center in the area or a meeting space. I want it to be my town's thing where people can come and hang out and stuff. And I read this and I thought, wow, this is cool. This is nice that this guy wants to do that. I've certainly heard of things like that before. This group crapped all over that. It wasn't exclusively negative commentary, but it was way, way, way too negative. People told him straight up, here's why you should not do this. Now, there's a big difference between telling a cautionary tale based on your own experiences and telling someone like, you can't do this or don't do this. And I'm especially surprised to hear a group of indie developers who their entire, this portion of their career in its entirety is basically put together by themselves because they decided they weren't going to be told, no, you can't do this. You see where I'm going with this? Like, they decided they were going to do this even though there's an industry that already does it. There are fantastic projects that people put out that you'll never be able to match. But these people decided, damn it, I'm going to be a developer and I'm going to create stuff because I want to do that and no one's going to tell me no. I can't imagine being a person like that and getting to a point where I turned around and told someone else, no, don't try that. Don't do that. There's already an industry for this. And I think part of this was based on the fact that this group has their own event and they probably don't appreciate the competition. But so fucking what? So what? It doesn't make any sense to be a gatekeeper on the outside of the fucking industry you wanted to be in the first place. Now you've set up your own gate that's even further out of the game industry, and now you're going to block people on the outside of it. That is insane. That is completely stupid. I'm sorry. This bothers me, and I haven't ranted on this podcast in a while. Or have I? Has it only been like a week? Doesn't matter. I don't understand the mindset that like, well, now you think you've made it in some way, so you're going to turn around and tell somebody not to. And I was very vocal even in that thread. I said, I'm surprised by what I'm seeing here. People come and create things like this from the ground up. All it takes is determination, maybe some stubbornness, and good old-fashioned sweat. That is all you require to do just about goddamn anything. This is going to be an explicit show for almost no reason. But people routinely build stuff from nothing. And to tell somebody they can't, when that's your entire thing, that's the only reason you got to do something is because you did what this person did at some point. I don't know what to say to that. Like, that's very frustrating. So I'm really just using whatever platform I have here to encourage people. If it's not already common sense, be good and be encouraging to the people around you. Be helpful. I told this guy that people do stuff like this all the time. And if he's determined, no, it's not going to be easy. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. Of course you can do it. And that guy was so touched by that because basically I was one of like only 2 or 3 people who said anything positive at all. But he messaged me and said, hey, thank you for saying that. I really believe I can do this. And I said, good, that's all that matters. You believe you can do it. And whether the truth is that you can or cannot, all you need right now is the mindset that you can. I've said this before on the podcast. How many famous designers, developers, creators gave interviews late in their career and said, the only reason I got this done is I was too stupid not to know I couldn't. People say that all the time. If I had known what was going to be involved, I never would have tried. That's all you need. You don't need to know all the reasons you can't do something. And you know what? Like a week later, this guy got back to me and he goes, hey, I wanted to let you know, I've got like 20 vendors lined up already. I've got speakers ready to go. And I wanted to make sure I saved a spot for you if you wanted to come do something. So I told that guy, and he actually comes from a town where my great uncle lived his entire life. And I loved that sweet old man. And he only died here within the last 5 years. And I told that guy, you know what? I got a soft spot for that city. I will be more than happy to come out to that event. We'll do a podcast. You can tell people. I told him, tell anybody, I'll interview them. They can be on the podcast and go out to this platform because I understand a new event's not going to have a giant audience. So if I can help in that way, I'm happy to do it. I said, we can do a live show at the thing. I can interview people on the floor. Would be absolutely thrilled to do that. And that's something I've offered the bigger group for their event, and they were not having it. They had no interest in that at all. So I guess the points I'm making here are, 1, be good to the people around you. Don't discourage them. There's a difference between warning someone and discouraging someone. Recognize that difference. Don't discourage people. Warning is enough. Say, hey man, I think it's awesome you want to do that. There are some pitfalls I'd love to warn you about because I've tried something like this, or if you haven't tried something like this, maybe just be quiet, right? It's don't let your own sort of instinctual, like, I'm not accusing you people of having this because I know a lot of listeners have very good hearts and don't behave like this. I don't understand people who do, but if you've got an instinct like that person's doing what? I don't like that because I didn't do it. Like, just you got to get past that. Don't let that trample over the people around you. Anyway, be encouraging to people, help people where you can. This is all pretty routine stuff, right? I mean, all of us have had somebody at some point help us instead of discourage us, and you know what a big difference that makes. So, and it's not that people are bad-hearted, but I think it's something we need to be aware of. Like, we need to know whether in a given moment we are being helpful or we are being discouraging. Because probably some of the people in that thread didn't mean to. They thought they were sparing that person some heartache or something like that, but that person has a big dream, and so what if they go pursue it and it doesn't work? Big deal. They're still going to learn stuff. What, did every prototype you ever came up with turn into a best-selling game? Probably not. Not in my case. I'm at like 99% failure over here. So what? Think of all the stuff I've learned. You know, that's the whole point. So be helpful to the people around you, for God's sake. You know? Anyway, maybe you appreciated that, maybe you did not. So anyway, we're going to do this little podcast appearance that I did for my friend Ray. If you enjoy it, check out, I'll do a little outro here too, but, go check in with our old friend Ray, because he's done some good appearances here too, and we always like having him around. So without further ado, here is my Nightfall Unlimited appearance. Enjoy.
Mitchell. He's jumping in.
Boys?
Hey, Todd.
Hey, guys.
This is Jay. You guys have never met as far as I know.
No. How's it going, man? Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
So Todd is here to talk about some gaming stuff for us. If you don't know who Todd is and you've watched any of our podcasts, you're out of your mind. Because he led the old Nightfall Unlimited, the podcast, when we had the old crew. And I've been on his podcast a couple of times, talking comics mostly. Because I'm famous for
we found ways to make it work, and it was very popular, I guess.
Yeah, it was good times. Jay, I wanted you to get in on that show too, but maybe we'll have to do that again sometime, Todd.
I got time. Season 3 starting up here in September.
There we
go. I'm starting to line up guests, so anytime.
Sounds good to me. And Todd, your podcast. So go ahead and plug. Tell them the title. Tell them everything.
Okay, so in short form, I run the Game Dev Breakdown podcast. You can just think of it as Game Dev Talk. If you are interested in game development or have ever been involved in hobby game development, anything like that, it's fun, and this isn't a boast because the main attraction is the guests. I have all kinds of authors, game developers, anybody I can find involved in creation of games, and I pick their brain. And if people have questions for them, I relay those questions, and we have a good time. It's been a lot of fun. We just finished up season 2, and just today we were shouted out as one of the 9 best game dev podcasts by Ask Game Dev on YouTube, which has been just blows me away. It's so touching, so very nice, and it's a good feeling.
You were first mentioned, which is super cool.
Yeah, well, I was worried because somebody tagged me on Twitter with my name under it, and I thought they were kind of just being nice, like, go get him, Tiger, one day you'll be on these lists, you know? And so Erica's with me, she's watching it, and I'm like, I am not sure I'm going to be, oh, there we are. So.
Right away. And I even got a shout out. How did that even happen?
You worked your way into that video clip in the 45 seconds they talked about it, and I couldn't be more happy to see your name in there.
You know what I'm happy about is they said my name right.
They did. They got it right. Sounded good. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. Really made me famous for what do they say, universe building or world, something like that.
Yeah,
universe creating and yeah, I'm famous if you didn't know.
So.
But anyway, so Todd, what do you got going on?
Okay, so you hit me up about a gaming update for the show, which I thought was great. I love stopping in and talking about this stuff. So I rounded up one new release for each major platform, and we'll talk about what they are. You can tell me if you've heard about them, have any interest in them. The first one, I don't think you even have a Nintendo Switch, do you?
No, but you know what? I probably will come Christmas time. We went to GameStop recently. I reserved a copy of Gears 5, and the kids got on the old demo, and now they're bugging me about it. They were playing Kirby. So
Kirby, yeah.
I'll be getting one. Yeah.
I don't think there's a bad Kirby game in existence.
I don't think so. I think you're right.
What everybody's freaking out about right now is Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh.
You've probably seen some viral videos about it. Everybody's making their levels, playing their friends' levels, sharing their codes online. It's actually pretty cool. I don't want to play it because I am a game designer, and that's the last thing I want to do at the end of the day. But it's very cool to have this thing where even if you're just a player, it's like a new Mario game that's just never going to stop releasing content. You'll just always have new levels to play. Like I said, it's great for clips and sharing that stuff. And so I think they got a winner on their hands, and that's out as of earlier this month.
I can't think about the money I'm going to drop on a Nintendo Switch in the next few months. Oh,
it's tough because things don't really go less than full price on the Nintendo Switch for a long time once they come out.
But I was like trying to juke them by, hey, I've got a GameCube. We can buy a GameCube. So I looked at Mario Party, and they're still $40.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, still the full $200. That's right.
Anyway.
The other Switch thing is Marvel Ultimate Alliance is, let's see, it just came out too. And it's Switch exclusive. This killed me.
Yeah.
The rest of the series you can play on anything, including your microwave, and now you can't play Ultimate Alliance 3 unless you... I don't want to play it on the Switch. I don't think it's going to run very well there.
Where's my Xbox One version? I mean, I played the first two on the Xbox One, and I played them multiple times, and I'd love to play... I started playing the first one recently again, and I heard there was another one coming out, and then they're like, oh, it's Switch only. And like,
I did that too. I revisited number 2. They actually just re-released them on the Xbox One.
That's how I was playing it, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, never would they do this if this was going to be Switch exclusive, and here we are. So I don't know what to tell anybody. I probably won't end up playing it for that reason.
Yeah.
So I'll move us on to Xbox One. You mentioned Gears 5. That's my pick for Xbox One. Gears 5, the tech test, whatever you want to call that. Mm-hmm. They usually call it something like a public beta, but they did one last weekend. They're going to do another one this weekend. So if you want to try Gears 5 and you don't have Xbox Game Pass, get Xbox Game Pass. It's pretty cheap. You get a bunch of cool games now, and you'll get Gears 5 as soon as it launches. So
if I do that, I'll be in big trouble then. That's my son's favorite games are Gears. I had to reserve 2 copies of it, but it's in September, so it's not too far off. Maybe we'll just wait.
I tell you, I don't know what the exact price of Game Pass is. It was like $3, $5, something like that per month.
Well, that's not much.
And you get to play Gears the day it comes out. I got to play Forza as soon as it came out, which was great. And then there are a bunch of other games. Like if you have Game Pass, you can play Blazing Chrome, which is a new like retro style Contra type game. That's on there too. So I recommend people check Blazing Chrome out as well. If you want a full game on the Xbox, you can play right now.
Sounds cool.
Moving down to PS4, there's basically nothing. There is not a lot happening on PS4 right now. I looked on Metacritic, and there's one new release listed with a score of a 76 coming out this week. And I thought, I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
I mean, I'm confused. My group of gamers is split, and I think I have a bigger group that's on the PS4 versus the Xbox One. And my core friends like you and a few other ones, Dan Sheehan and Edgar, are all on Xbox. But I've got this other crew that's on the PlayStation and swears by the PlayStation. Like somebody was trying to convince me to go play Resident Evil 6 with them. I'm like, I'm not buying another version of that game, first of all. And second of all, why don't you get an Xbox? Then we'll play. And, oh, no, I'm on PS4 only. But PS4, I only play baseball on that.
Yeah, I have this problem with Xbox and PC. I've got PC friends. Not everybody wants to maintain a PC beefy enough to play these games. I totally get that. Absolutely. I just have to run beefy software anyway, so I tend to keep up with it. But people who like the Xbox, I totally get it. I really wish I had a PS4 when Spider-Man came out. That seemed like it was awesome.
Yeah, I still need to play that. We just got a comment said because PlayStation has the best exclusives. Gears of War is exclusive to the Xbox. Thank you.
There are plenty of reasons to play either one. I don't have a real strong favorite because I was an old PS1 player. I'm a big fan of that. It's hard to play favorites between those consoles.
It is. I mean, I started with PS1, and when it comes to the newer gen type stuff, because obviously we started with Nintendo and Genesis and all that, but as far as the PlayStation versus Xbox, I started with PlayStation 2. I didn't get an Xbox till 2005, right before the Xbox 360 came out.
Oh, that's right. So, I remember. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I only got it to play Knights of the Old Republic, which is an Xbox exclusive. So
yeah, they've slowly... we talked about this. They put Knights of the Old Republic on the iPhone.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah, it's in the Apple Store because I actually had it on the iPad as well.
Yeah, what a time to be alive.
Yeah,
this is the future. It's not too bad. So since we talked about PC, the craze right now with PC is, for a long time we had these battle royale games, Fortnite, PUBG.
Yeah.
Now we're moving into something called auto chess games. Auto chess games are where you've got all these little warriors or creatures. Think of them like Pokemon. You basically pick out a little army and battle with the opposing army, and they're actually very strategic, very complicated games, hard to learn, but they are super fun. So they're becoming real popular on like Twitch, YouTube, and I think that's going to be the future of competitive gaming for people who don't like shooters.
That's good because we need something like that. I've never been good at shooters at all. And,
yeah, you get sick from them basically, right?
Excuse me. Yeah, and I just got sick now.
Here's an example.
Yeah. First-person shooters make me feel dizzy. I start getting the sweats, and then I feel nauseous. But like third-person, like Gears, for instance, or even no, it wasn't Rainbow Six. I don't remember what it was, but there was one other one that I could play that was fine. But yeah, the first-person ones kill me.
I thought I remembered we had talked about the Ghost Recon games at some point.
I think maybe it was Ghost Recon. Well, there was was it Ghost Recon? The one where you're a spy.
Well, there's Splinter Cell too.
What was that?
Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell. Yeah, I could play that, but that's not really a shooter. That's more of a sneaking game.
Yeah, stealth stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you get sick, don't play them. It's not worth it. It's
right.
Not going to be helpful for you. But yeah, stuff like this is cool. I like strategy games. And you can play Teamfight Tactics, which is one of the popular ones that is free. It's from the same guys who make League of Legends, so they're flush with cash, and anybody can play them. So that's...
flush with cash, like John Ralphio.
Exactly, yeah. And there's another popular PC game right now called Nowhere Prophet, which is a card game tied to a randomly generated map game with like a cool narrative about post-apocalyptic wasteland and stuff. It's getting super, super high scores. So look up a trailer for Nowhere Prophet, see if it's the right PC game for you, and those are my picks for that platform. And I put together some notes for mobile because there's a new Dr. Mario game out. Dr. Mario World, yeah, is available on iOS. I don't know if it's coming to Android or not, but I know it's out for iOS, and unfortunately, it's just like Candy Crush. So,
I mean, those are the most popular mobile games, are the games like Candy Crush, because how many Candy Crush clones are there, you know?
Right. It's so funny to see Nintendo jump on that bandwagon because everybody went, oh, why doesn't Nintendo get into mobile? And then they do it like this, and it's like, go back, Nintendo.
Yeah, and I mean, Dr. Mario was one of those really fun games that, like, what did it come out? Early 90s, maybe, that anybody can play. And that's probably the smartest move for a mobile game for Nintendo to do, is something like a Dr. Mario. And then, of course, they'll have get extra credits for $5.99, so pay to play. I bet it makes money for them.
It is just like that. And my recommendation is, if you love Dr. Mario old school like I do and like you do, you can play that in the Nintendo Switch Online service, which puts out old school games like Nintendo early, like I think it's strictly NES right now, but you can play those old games there, or you can play Dr. Mario on the NES Mini. So
yeah.
So this, if this is not for you, maybe that's for you. And there's also a really cool game called Sky Children of the Light, excuse me. that's getting like super high ratings and stuff. It's I think it's a better example of what's possible with mobile gaming. I like to see that kind of stuff. Like, this doesn't have to be a little microtransaction machine where you just hook up your credit card and give away all your money. I think that's going to be a cool thing for people to see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it.
And when we did the show, I was going to mention something about, I keep going back to when we did the show, the old Nightfall show. Mm-hmm. Mobile gaming is huge. 5 years ago, we talked about the numbers, how there were more women playing, or more women gamers. And we suggested a lot of it was mobile gaming. Do you do any mobile game? I don't.
I do a little bit, and that's why I took interest in when locally here in Missouri we had a politician come forward and say, I'm going to get new laws passed so you game developers can't prey on these children and stuff. And they used Candy Crush as an example, so I had to tweet back to this guy. I'm like, that's a little disingenuous because the average Candy Crush player is a 43-year-old woman. So if you want to come down on us, there are things in the game industry and design practices I absolutely don't approve of. But we got to talk about them realistically, I think.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing mobile gaming, I like Clash Royale. That's a fun one. And I like to try to find small games from indie developers who aren't trying to gouge everybody.
What's Clash Royale?
Clash Royale is from the makers of Clash of Clans. It's the second game they made for, well, not the second game, but it's the follow-up to Clash of Clans. It's cool if you got friends playing it. It's all right. It's a strategy game.
Yeah, I do, actually. I was Force Arena that I played, but they shut it down out of nowhere a couple months ago, which, oddly enough, freed up a lot of time for me. So.
They do that. When I was at GDC a year ago, I was talking to somebody who is associated with Microsoft because they offer these cloud services, for game developers. And he says, this stuff is so automated and so just fully featured. We have game developers go out of business and these games keep making money completely unattended sometimes. He says there are some games, they just say, we'll let this thing stop paying for itself and then they'll shut it down. Sometimes they keep going for a long time, but they shut down all the time.
That's creepy.
It's a fully automated, creepy ghost world in these machines.
Ghost in the machine. Well, is there anything else you got for us, Todd?
That is all I got for you now. I wanted to keep it tight for this first week, and I'm glad you guys are doing this, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're a part of it. Todd is one of the founders, because I'm the other one, of the original Nightfall Unlimited. Yeah. Todd, we got to get you a new shirt, bro.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it.
What color? I'm going to get you one.
What colors you got? I like that.
Any color you want.
Oh, man. Yeah, I like red. Red's awesome.
Okay. I'll get you red, and then we'll have a haircut soon.
I appreciate
Kids
it.
Kids are
getting
ready to go back to school. I'll have Fridays free again, so you let me know.
Oh, here's a bonus for you.
Uh-oh.
There's a new Samurai Showdown game out. You know where I first played Samurai Showdown?
Where?
Bert's Truck Wagon.
There we go. Tying it together.
Got him.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming by. I'll definitely get you a shirt. Just text me the size you want. Free on the house. I'll take care of it all.
I love it. I'll do that.
So I may throw in an Unparalleled comic shirt for you too.
I would love that as well.
Yes. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to probably wrap it up with a couple of comic book suggestions. You want to hang out or you want to bounce? What do you want to do?
Just because it got so late, I better bounce, but I'll hang out later next time.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys. Have fun.
All right.
All right. I feel like I should thank Ray, even though I didn't just talk to him, actually. Like this, when I'm recording this outro, it's a big difference from when I did the appearance. Anyway, if you enjoyed what you heard there, they're probably going to do more. Check out nightfallunlimited.com. Check out Nightfall Unlimited on social media. And we've talked about where to find Ray Merrick. He's on Twitter, and he's all over the place. And he's frequently on this show, so just keep an eye out. If you enjoy Game Dev Breakdown, or if you don't know what Game Dev Breakdown is like, you can check out one of the normal episodes from recent history, but you can check out CodeWritePlay.com. You can subscribe to the show anywhere, and leave us a review. Check out show notes. Check out our Patreon group at patreon.com/CodeWritePlay. There's a bunch of stuff you can do to get involved. I am talking to some people about some new partnership opportunities. There's some just neat little things we're going to be doing. So be on the lookout for my interview with Richard Rouse III coming up Monday. I will be out of town during that. So if you reach out and don't hear back right away, you will hear from me days later. I don't know if I'm going to have internet almost at all on this trip. So believe me, I'm doing the best I can. I'm working real hard to sort of keep things going while we're out. But in the meantime, enjoy the show. Leave us a note. Tell us what you like, don't like, and we will be back ASAP. So catch you all very soon.